If you like the content of our channel, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit the notification and like buttons so you never miss a new video, and thank you. For decades, researchers have tried to understand what was recorded deep in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Not a photograph, not a footprint, but something far more difficult to explain. Audio. The Sierra sounds.
Shelter, because you still don't know what you're dealing with. Whatever it is big, very, very big. We all go inside, close the shelter door, and that's a log that we put between these trees, and then we'd strap it inside a cable, and then they would start making their sounds. And that was in '71 when I first started hearing them, and we started recording them.
The sounds were low, structured, and at times, eerily intelligent. Some researchers believe it was communication. Others argue it was simply wind or wildlife echoing through the canyon walls. But no consensus has ever been reached. And that uncertainty is what keeps this case alive. Because if these sounds were not made by a known species, then something else was present in those mountains, and it was aware enough to respond. But what investigators would later claim about these recordings would push the entire Bigfoot discussion into even deeper controversy. The Ape Canyon attack, long before modern cameras, before thermal imaging, and before Bigfoot became a global phenomenon. One of the earliest reported mass encounters took place in the wilderness near Mount St. Helens. 5 miners claimed they were not alone in their remote cabin. The miners described figures moving between the trees, tall, human-like, but not human. That night would end with panic, fear, and a desperate escape through the forest. Skeptics argue the story grew over time, shaped by folklore and retelling. But what makes this case difficult to dismiss entirely is that multiple witnesses gave similar accounts independently, and no definitive explanation has ever fully resolved what they experienced. But what happened in this canyon would become one of the earliest recorded stories of something that would later be given a name the world now recognizes. Number 22, the Bauman encounter. One of the earliest written accounts of a possible Bigfoot encounter comes not from modern researchers, but from a fur trapper working alone in the Montana wilderness. His story was later recorded and published by Theodore Roosevelt. According to the account, the trapper began noticing signs he was not alone. Broken branches, strange tracks, a growing sense of being watched. Eventually, his camp was destroyed, and his companion was found dead under mysterious circumstances. The trapper believed the attacker was not a bear, not a man, but something else entirely. The skeptics point to exaggeration or misinterpretation in frontier storytelling. But what makes this case significant is its age, and the fact that it predates modern Bigfoot mythology entirely. And yet, even this early account would not be the last time someone claimed that something in the wilderness was watching them far too closely. Number 21, the Fouke monster. In southern Arkansas, near the small town of Fouke, reports began to surface describing something moving through the swamps and rural roads. Residents claimed encounters near homes, fields, and wooded areas. In one widely discussed incident, a family reported a large figure approaching their property. Dark, massive, moving with unusual speed for its size. Law enforcement investigated the reports. Footprints were reportedly found in the area, but nothing conclusive was ever recovered. Over time, the sightings became part of local folklore, later popularized in film and media. But for those who claimed to see it firsthand, the experience was not folklore at all. It was immediate, and it was real. But what investigators would later connect to these early reports would begin to reshape how people interpreted every sighting that followed. Hey, stay with us for the next video in this incredible series from Paranormal Rabbit.